Welcome to Iraqi Dinar Update, your go-to source for the latest news, expert insights, and real-time developments on Iraq's currency, economy, and financial reforms. Whether you're a long-time investor or just curious about the dinar, you're in the right place. The message being conveyed through the Azraflak website, amplified by the commentary of Frank, encapsulates a pivotal moment in Iraq's journey toward modernizing its financial and economic systems. The statement about Iraq's future being digital isn't just a marketing slogan, it is a deliberate declaration of intent. Iraq is standing at a crossroads, preparing to make a leap from a cash-dominated, paper-based economy into a fully integrated, digital-first society. This process of digitalization is not limited to simple electronic transactions or online banking. It is an all-encompassing vision that spans government services, banking, monetary policy, retail, and international trade. The claim that the future for Iraq is digital is rooted in the nation's current trajectory, shaped by the Central Bank of Iraq, CBI, the Ministry of Finance, and international partners including the IMF and World Bank, all of whom are advising Iraq to abandon antiquated systems and move toward a more transparent, accountable, and efficient digital framework. Embedded within this transformation is the profound concept of bringing in our 3 zeros. This refers to Iraq's well-known plan to redenominate its currency by removing 3 zeros from the current banknotes, a process long discussed and anticipated by investors, economists, and the Iraqi public alike. The 3 zeros are both symbolic and practical. Symbolically, they represent a legacy of past economic trauma, hyperinflation, war, sanctions, and fiscal mismanagement that necessitated large denominations. Practically, the removal of these zeros would streamline financial transactions, boost confidence in the Iraqi dinar, and signal a normalization of Iraq's monetary system. However, such a move cannot occur in isolation. It must be coordinated with broader economic reforms, legal frameworks, and, most importantly, technological infrastructure. When Frank emphasizes that they are not pulling any punches, he's noting the seriousness with which Iraq's leadership is approaching this transition. For years, digitalization has been discussed as a distant goal. But the tone today is unmistakably urgent. Iraq is now actively pushing forward with reforms that make digital payment systems mandatory in government institutions, introducing biometric identification for banking customers, expanding point-of-sale systems nationwide, and adopting international financial messaging standards like SWIFT and ISO 20022. These are not minor technical upgrades. They are structural changes that will affect the entire economic ecosystem. The link between digitalization and monetary reform is key. Frank connects the digital transition directly with the stability and security of the Iraqi dinar's future. That connection is not speculative. In a country like Iraq, where the informal cash economy has dominated for decades, physical money poses several risks. It facilitates corruption, tax evasion, smuggling, and illegal capital flight. Moreover, it undermines the ability of the central bank to implement effective monetary policy because so much economic activity escapes official channels. By going digital, Iraq would bring massive volumes of shadow economy activity into the light. This would allow for better oversight, more effective regulation, and ultimately a more stable currency environment. Frank's statement, "Digitalization is now," is laced with both curiosity and a cautious sense of urgency. He is reflecting a broader sentiment felt by many who follow Iraq's monetary reform process closely. There is a mix of excitement and anxiety in the air. The excitement stems from the belief that Iraq is finally ready to turn the page and take its place among modern, well-governed economies. The anxiety arises from the magnitude of the task. Transforming an entire country's economic structure is not easy. Iraq must overcome a host of challenges: infrastructure gaps, lack of digital literacy, regional instability, and entrenched interests that benefit from the status quo. Frank is right to sense a contradiction in feelings, excitement and concern, hope and caution. Iraq's digital future is a bold proposition. It could lead to faster growth, better jobs, and a more inclusive economy. But the risks of poor implementation, resistance from vested interests, and external shocks, such as geopolitical conflicts, remain real. The digital transformation must be accompanied by legal reforms, privacy protections, cybersecurity measures, and an independent judiciary capable of resolving disputes in this new economic environment. Another dimension to consider is generational. Iraq's young population, over 60% under the age of 25, is more digitally inclined and potentially more open to this transformation than older generations. Mobile phone penetration is high, and social media is widely used. This demographic advantage can be leveraged to accelerate digital adoption, especially through mobile banking and e-commerce. However, this also places pressure on the government to deliver quickly and competently, lest it lose the trust of a generation that is looking for change and opportunity. Frank's comment about the moment being troubling to a degree is justified when we consider the potential resistance from informal power networks and militias that profit from the opacity of the cash economy. For every transaction that becomes traceable, someone loses the ability to skim profits, avoid taxes, or launder funds. There may be political pushback, bureaucratic inertia, or even outright sabotage from those who stand to lose power or revenue from the shift to a digital economy. Nonetheless, the inevitability of the digital transformation cannot be ignored. The world is moving in this direction. From Nigeria to India, from Brazil to Vietnam, governments are digitizing payments, introducing central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, and reducing reliance on cash. Iraq cannot afford to be left behind. Its future depends on joining this global trend, and doing so in a way that strengthens national sovereignty, enhances citizen welfare, and stabilizes its currency. In conclusion, the statement from Ezraflek and Frank's reaction to it underscore a major transformation taking place in Iraq. The digital future is not a possibility, it is now a policy imperative. The call to help them accomplish the digitalization of our country is both a patriotic appeal and a technical necessity. The removal of the 3 zeros, long a focal point for currency watchers, must be viewed not as an isolated act, but as part of a larger strategy to rebuild Iraq's economy on a new foundation. That foundation is digital, transparent, and aligned with global standards. Whether this transition will be successful depends on the resolve of Iraq's leadership, the engagement of its citizens, and the ability of international partners to provide timely support. For now, all eyes are on Baghdad. And for those who believe in Iraq's potential, the excitement outweighs the fear, just barely. Thanks for tuning into Iraqi Dinar Update. If you found this content helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a beat on Iraq's evolving financial landscape. Stay informed and stay ready.